Jess Phillips is in hot water once again, this time over yet another breach of parliamentary rules. This latest revelation marks her third time breaking Commons regulations, raising serious questions about her accountability. But what exactly did she do? And why is this just the latest in a pattern of repeated rule breaking? Stay tuned as we break down the full story, uncover the details, and discuss what this means for Phillips and the Labour government. But before we dive in, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our latest reports. Just a quick one to say we have new Labour t-shirts available on our website. You can check the link in the description or go to BritishStand.com. Let's get into it. Jess Phillips broke Parliament's rules for a third time by failing to declare tickets to the Chelsea Flower Show on time, a watchdog has ruled. Ms Phillips, the safeguarding minister, was found by the Standards Commissioner to have committed a minor breach of the Commons Code of Conduct. MPs must register all interests, including freebies and income from non-parliamentary work, within 28 days of receipt. But despite attending the Chelsea Flower Show and a dinner on May 20th last year, Ms Phillips declared them on the Commons Register of Interests on November 4th. Daniel Greenberg, the Parliamentary Commissioner for Standards, launched an investigation late last year after receiving a complaint. In a report published on Friday, Mr. Greenberg said Ms Phillips had declared her tickets and dinner 169 days after accepting them, therefore breaking the limit by 141 days. Correspondence shows Ms Phillips admitted the breach straight away, although went on to partially blame Rishi Sunak, calling the July 2024 general election for her mistake. She said, "The reason for this late registration is because I hadn't thought that it had breached the amount for registering. This was an error on my part based on having attended the Chelsea Flower Show with a pair of tickets the year previously, and it had not breached the registrable amount." While claiming to take full responsibility, she added, "I would say, however, it is a mistake based on confusion about the cost of the event. However, it is my responsibility to have assured myself of this at the time with written evidence, which I can only assume I did not do, as I normally would have because of the shot calling of the general election. I can only fully apologise for this, and I sought to be completely transparent about it as soon as I realised my mistake." Mr. Greenberg judged the breach to be fairly minor, but said he was naturally disappointed that Ms Phillips had broken the rules around declarations for a third time. In May 2022, the Labour frontbencher was found to have inadvertently registered income from public speaking, television appearances, newspaper articles, and books late on 18 occasions. The following year, the Standards Commissioner ruled that she had committed another minor breach after registering payment for a university lecture 2 days after the deadline. Setting out his decision, Mr. Greenberg told Ms Phillips, "I am naturally disappointed to see you commit another failure to comply with the House's rules on registration. As I said in my earlier memorandum, it is essential for the credibility and authority of the register that members understand that repeatedly treating it in a casual and inattentive fashion is a serious matter, and that a casual attitude to the register is unacceptable. Having regard to that history, I would not have expected to offer rectification in relation to any further breach by you of the registration rules." Mr. Greenberg said he had carefully considered the circumstances of Ms Phillips's latest breach, and added, "For the reasons set out below, I have concluded that it would not be proportionate or appropriate to report this matter to the Standards Committee." He said this was because of both the value and nature of the interest concerned, and the fact that the breach appears to have been, although regrettably careless, inadvertent. The Labour government was engulfed in a row over ministers accepting freebies within weeks of Sir Keir Starmer entering Downing Street last summer. Donations and gifts from Lord Ali, the Prime Minister's biggest personal donor, prompted a cronyism row after the Labour peer was previously given a pass to No 10, despite having no official government role. Sir Keir eventually paid back £6,000 of gifts that were about to be made public, including 6 Taylor Swift tickets, 4 Doncaster racing tickets, and clothing loaned to his wife. He went on to update the ministerial code and ordered ministers to take into account public perception of the gifts they received, as he sought to avoid a repeat of the row. Frontbenchers have not been banned from accepting hospitality altogether, instead being told that they can keep taking handouts as long as they are properly declared. In other news, Donald Trump's Scottish golf course has been vandalized by pro-Palestine protesters just days after the US president issued a last warning to Hamas. Protesters from Palestine Action covered the clubhouse in red paint with a message reading, "Gaza is not for sale." Further damage was inflicted upon the greens with spray-painted messages, "Free Palestine," Trump emblazoned across its entrance. The vandalism appears connected to the 47th president's suggestions that America could own Gaza and renovate the Strip into the Riviera of the East. Trump shared a satirical AI video showing life in a theoretical Trump Gaza resort, complete with casinos and belly dancers. Police Scotland confirmed it received initial reports of the damage in the early hours of Saturday. A spokesman for the force said, "Around 4:40 a.m. on Saturday, 8th Mac, 2025, we received a report of damage to the golf course and a premises on Maidens Road, Turnberry. Enquiries are ongoing, and anyone with information has been asked to contact 101, quoting reference 0636 of March 8, 2025. Continuing on a Palestinian theme, a man holding a Palestinian flag has been seen climbing up the Big Ben as Scotland Yard closes one side of Westminster Bridge. Social media videos show a barefoot man stood on a ledge of the Elizabeth Tower, holding a Palestinian flag. The man reportedly shouted, "Free Palestine." 9 emergency service vehicles arrived at the scene to restore order in Westminster. Confirming the incident, a Met Police spokesman said, "At 7:24 a.m. on Saturday, March 8th, officers were alerted to a man climbing up the Elizabeth Tower at the Houses of Parliament. Officers are at the scene working to bring the incident to a safe conclusion. They are being assisted by the London Fire Brigade and the London Ambulance Service." The Metropolitan Police added that Bridge Street has been closed to allow the emergency services to deal with the incident. A spokesman for London Fire Brigade, LFB, said firefighters are responding to the incident alongside police. The spokesman added that crews from Lambeth, Chelsea, Soho, and Islington fire stations have been deployed. Reform UK's Chief Whip Lee Anderson has opened up about the deeply painful decision to suspend Rupert Lowe over allegations of serious bullying and threats of physical violence. The Ashfield MP, who penned a statement alongside Reform UK chairman Zia Yusuf last night, released an update just hours after the Populist Party was plunged into a civil war. Anderson claimed, "I have a great deal of respect for Rupert Lowe, and as his chief whip, I have bent over backwards to be fair with him since he entered Parliament. But his unwillingness to cooperate in an investigation into his behaviour has meant the Parliamentary Party cannot function effectively, whilst Rupert is a Reform UK MP. There is far too much at stake, and by not taking decisive action, we would risk losing everything we have built up. I bear no malice towards Rupert, and to remove the whip was a deeply painful thing to do. But delivering for our country must come first, and no man is bigger than our party." What are your thoughts on what we discussed in today's video? Let me know down in the comment section below. If you've not yet already, make sure you do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more British content. Thank you, take care, goodbye.